As we've been talking about this morning, President Trump attacked the mayor of London on Twitter this morning after his city suffered a terror attack. And yesterday morning, Trump went back at him, tweeting, "Pathetic excuse by London Mayor Sadiq Khan, who had to think fast on his no reason to be alarmed statement." Doubling down on an attack, despite widespread criticism, seems to be something of a go-to for the president. There was the first time he attacked the judge presiding over the Trump University case.
We have a very hostile judge because, to be honest with you, the judge should have thrown the case out on summary judgment. But because it was me and because there's a hostility toward me by the judge, tremendous hostility, beyond belief. I believe he happens to be Spanish, which is fine. He's Hispanic, which is fine. And we haven't asked for recusal, which we may do. But we have a judge who's very hostile. Should have been thrown out, wasn't thrown out.
Judge Curiel, you'll remember, was from Indiana. He doubled down on his attack of Judge Curiel the next day and continued those attacks for months.
I think the judge has been extremely hostile to me. We have a very hostile judge. Now, he is Hispanic, I believe, and he is a very hostile judge to me, and I've said it loud and clear.
Then last summer, after Khizr Khan, the father of a slain U.S. soldier, spoke out against Trump at the Democratic National Convention, Trump first took on Khan's wife.
If you look at his wife, she was standing there. She had nothing to say. Maybe she wasn't allowed to have anything to say. You tell me.
2 days later, Trump doubled down with more attacks of Khan himself.
I was very viciously attacked, as you know, on the stage, and I was surprised to see it. And so all I did, I have great honor and great feeling for his son, Mr. Khan's son. And as far as I'm concerned, he's a hero. But horrible things were said about me. I think it was, frankly, very tough. So all I did is respond, and I will always respond.
One more example. As president, his series of tweets accusing President Obama of wiretapping Trump Tower and calling him a, quote, bad or sick guy. Trump has been doubling down on that ever since.
Well, I've been reading about things. I read in, I think it was January 20th, a New York Times article where they were talking about wiretapping. There was an article, I think they used that exact term. I read other things. I watched your friend Bret Baier the day previous where he was talking about certain very complex sets of things happening and wiretapping. I said, wait a minute, there's a lot of wiretapping being talked about. I've been seeing a lot of things.
So, Joe, given all that history, we shouldn't be surprised that he doubled down about Mayor Khan of London. But even when confronted with the truth, which is that quote that he used about Mayor Khan was taken completely out of context, he goes back in again rather than admitting a mistake.
It was fake news. I mean, what he did was he loves talking about fake news. Of course, this is ironic coming from the guy who actually is more factually inaccurate than any president in American history, certainly if you judge him by the first 4 or 5 months. And that's actually a matter of record. And so he's back out tweeting again this morning, attacking the fake news media, talking about why he tweets. And what's so interesting is Donald Trump's not fighting the news media. Donald Trump is fighting himself, and he's fighting his own White House. They're horrified when he goes on these screeds. Nobody wants him to go on these screeds. They've tried time and again, as Bob Costa was saying, to get him to stop using Twitter unless it's to promote policies. But really, he can't do it.
He can't do it, and the tweet you just referenced, we just put up, was that obviously he's listening to some of the discussion on TV this morning and said basically that the media hates that I can get the message out unfiltered through social media. He is trying to get...
But his own staff members, Willie, in the White House hate it. You saw yesterday George Conway hated it. People who supported his executive order hated it. People who support our alliance with Great Britain and Germany and France hate it. Everybody hates it but Donald Trump.